Hey everyone, what's going on? We're gonna continue our Riven playthrough tonight, which I'm excited to do. I meant to do it a lot sooner than I did. It's been close to 2 weeks since the last stream. But hey. Hello, Miss Man. What's up, Mackerel? How are you doing, Pam? Making pizza. Man, you make a lot of pizza. I wish I could have pizza as much as you have. 2 years. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for the 2 years. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Actually, now I think about it, I haven't had pizza in a little while. I should have pizza soon. Maybe I'll have pizza tomorrow. What's up? What's going on? Holy shit, my kitten's toe beans are cold. He just walked across my bare leg. Man, it is so warm here in Texas right now. Or at least right now it feels warm. It's actually like 65 or 70 degrees. I don't know. How am I doing? How are me and Harvey doing? Harvey's okay. He's been walking around crying, being a bit of a ding-dong. Not totally sure why. Super glad you're streaming. Feel worse? Oh no, why are you feeling worse? What's wrong? Don't feel worse. I'm sorry. Well, hopefully it should get better. Typical cat. It's typical Harvey. Can you see the game, by the way? You see a burnt out linking book here. So last we left off, I mean, I guess if you haven't seen this, there's a lot to catch up on. But I guess the short version is that we've been sent to this age called Riven, where Atris's father, Gen, is essentially a prisoner of this entire age. He's kind of set up shop here and, like, proclaimed himself a god to the local Riven folks. You'd think that Atris would just use a more traditional prison, like he did with his 2 sons, but go figure. And we've just found Gen's lab. Gen is the name of the guy we're trying to capture here. We're supposed to come to Riven, capture him in an actual prison book, free Atris's wife, who is also stuck and captured here on Riven, and then we're supposed to signal Atris by with some kind of cataclysmic event. And I think that's more or less a good enough backstory, right? We found some mysterious symbols that you can't see because I got a physical real-life notebook. We have this little background book that we read last time. And Gen is here on Riven trying to figure out a way to make new linking books. And as far as we know so far, he has succeeded. He can link to his own little office age that he's created. Or not created, but that he's forged links to. There's a button. I don't remember what that button does. Now we're left with a couple of paths here. I want to go... Normally I would go straight on to Island 4. But we're actually going to go back to the Dome Island. Okay, is this the way to the Dome Island? Oh, wait. Wait, hang on. Are there 2 exits? Because there's this too. That goes to Dome Island. Hang on. Maybe I'm confused. You thought Gen was going to walk in on me in this room the whole time? Yeah, me too, Robo-kun. It's a creepy room. And knowing it's his, like, personal office, you know. So, wait a minute. I'm confused here. So I guess the back door goes to Island 4. Does the front door go back to the Dome Island? Because that's where we want to go. Yeah, okay. So I got it backwards. But there's a couple of reasons I wanted to go back to the Dome first. And one of it is that I found online some Dunny translations. Because there's Dunny text throughout the game. And it's actual, like, an actual fictional language that you can translate if you're keen enough, which we are not, but I did look up some translations, so good enough for me. Dunny, yeah. So the first of which is the text going around this dome here, which, hang on, I need to tab over, give me a moment. Let me see if I can find this. So all around the dome here is a bunch of text that you'll see here. I guess one screen forward, maybe. Well, you can kind of see it going around the dome. But it translates to is the end of this world is near. Which is really bizarre. It makes me wonder why that is inscribed on the gold dome of all things, you know? I know it's on the same island as the Starfisher, and the Age of Riven is kind of slowly deteriorating and falling apart. But why on the dome, I wonder? And I mean that, like, legitimately, like, genuinely wonder. Because the dome does have a purpose, but it's not related to the end of Riven, as far as I know. Hey, what's up, Mim? How are you doing? Are you in Boston yet? Boston? Okay, so now we have access to the second floor here. Thought that. Let's see what this does. Okay. He'll be there tomorrow at noon. Gotcha. I kind of wish I had decided to go to PAX, but can I not go up there now? It looks like it connects up there. But I guess not. I can't seem to go up. Then what's the point of this lever? Maybe we'll find out later. Oh, listen to that creaky sound effect. Love it. The steps are flat. Oh, we need to make them not flat anymore, I would assume. Maybe I can flick it while I'm standing on it. Sounds unnecessarily dirty. No, I guess not. So I need to make the steps not flat. Maybe. I don't remember that at all. Okay, and we also have this crank. I did not manage to sell my tickets. But that's alright. I did buy my plane tickets to Boston for early April. Okay, and then there was this, which I thought that we had already raised that, but I guess not. Oh, here we go. Y'all coming to New York, little yeehaw man? That's what they called me when I came down here. Strangely, everyone called me that. It was weird. Yeah, I am. But just for my grandma's 87th birthday. See, and there's another spinning dome, which we found the one on the Boiler Island. Let's see. Do I want to go there yet? I guess so. I think you can even take the elevator down. Oh. Maybe not. I can, however, bring the elevator up and then go down there. I just want to see what it looks like. Probably nothing, but... Oh no. Oh. Huh. I barely remember this at all. So that actually brought me down. Classic up-down elevator shenanigan puzzles. Yeah, there's no need to backseat. I've played this a couple times before, and it all comes back to me. But if you have any, like, lore tidbits, you can add that. Put that in. Okay, so it's when it's the full... Is that not it? I feel like I was spot on with that click. Am I just mistiming it? was spot on. I think we learned in Gen's book last stream too that these domes contain the linking book to his office age. Is there a reason this isn't working? Really want some dim sum. There's an amazing dim sum place in Chinatown in Boston. I wish I knew the name of it. Oh, come on. Just spam it, it'll work eventually, yeah. It seems like it was spot on. Think he went to that one? I mean, there's a lot of dim sum places. There's one really specific one. It's a super tiny place. If it was tiny, it probably wasn't the one I'm thinking of. Because the one that I'm talking about was pretty big. Holy shit, Riven, you know about this game? Oh, do I? Riven sold pretty well, too. It sold a couple million copies. So, I don't know if I would call it obscure. Maybe I can't do it right now for some reason. Which, again, is new to me. I'm used to this just working. Ah. Okay. I don't know why, but it's not working. So fuck it. We'll come back. And I can actually see the drain. It's kind of cool. Okay. I was button mashing it. I was. We get back to Gen's lab later, his gun will be missing. Oh my god, that's terrifying. It's cool though. Now, can I... Okay, so I can't just ride this up. Okay. Well, I'm glad I did that. So that's how I get to the dome down there when I'm ready to do that. Also this, which I think is just another way into the... Yeah, okay. Check out the Book of Atris novel. I've read the wiki notes on it at least. Doesn't that just close the door? Tried playing Riven a while ago, but I haven't played Mist. I had no idea what I was doing yet. And Riven's definitely harder than Mist for sure. Okay, I wanted to come back to here to read some of this text. I looked up some translations, and we had already looked in the viewfinders and kind of interpreted some of this. We did see these symbols again, and I forget if the game explained what they are yet. I know what they are, but I don't know if I want to reveal it early. So, just needs to hit when the icon is gold instead of gray. Yeah, it should work. Got raided by 2 people. Oh, thank you for the raid. I am Kumatora. It's an honor to be raided by the princess of Oso Castle. So there's some text here in a couple of different spots in this room. This kind of little worship temple. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 walls of text. Let's see what they say. Let's see. First, the gate room with 3 prayers on the walls. One of them says, "The ink. Our Lord Gen has blessed us by giving us the formula to make the ink. We thank our master for the privilege of manufacturing the ink he uses." The books. Our Lord Gen has blessed us by giving us the procedure to make the books. We thank our master for the privilege of manufacturing the books he uses. Then last, our master. Our Lord Gen has blessed us with his presence. We dedicate our existence to our master Gen, the creator and protector of our world. Praise Gen, the maker of worlds. Which, as we know, Gen didn't actually create this world. He just created essentially a link to the world. That's what the art of writing does, is it just creates links to already existing worlds. Kind of like a weird mystical, like, multiverse thing. Sorry, I hit puberty there for a moment. But I think, so now with this open, what we do is we can come back here, raise this up. Oh, and you can see the doors closed on the other side over there. Which I think is what that switch we did before does. This is a very gorgeous game. Did they ever explain the difference between a linking book and a regular book? Do they use special ink or paper? I think they use both. Oh, and then once here's the symbols again. The 5 symbols. And if you actually look out on the ocean too, you can actually see the pipes extending out. Well, kind of see them. Come over here. You can see it just barely snaking under the ocean there. And then going up to this other part of the island. And you see one going that way as well. So the giant pipes in the dome are all connected to the different islands. So the question is, what is on each island that this is connecting to? Okay, we're gonna open this. Now from here, we're gonna do some door rotating shenanigans. And you actually can't, it's funny, you can skip animations, but you can't skip this sound. Like, you actually need to let it play out. I feel like the villains in the Myst games are hugely underrated. Gen is a fantastic villain. Linking books are just shorthand. There's a much thicker book that describes the ages in full. Huh. Yeah, Savadro from Myst 3. Really incredible. Okay, so come back under here. Now this I can just skip. And now, because we have this workaround, we can now access the top center of the dome for the first time. Where once again the words, the end of the world is near, inscribed on the golden dome. And that brings us to one of the 2 major puzzles from Riven. 6 marbles and a, what is this, 25 by 25 grid. And the solution is each marble needs to go in a specific spot. Luckily I have it memorized. No, I'm just playing, I don't. And needless to say, you can't brute force this. You need to understand what the purpose of this is before the solution's obvious. Luigi Guy, thank you so much for the host. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. So, it's what we call the fire marble puzzle. And actually, Gen's journal, if I remember, described the fire marbles and talks about how it powers his little domes. So, with that, some of you could probably figure out what these 6 marbles do. It's weird that there's 6, though. That is odd. But, needless to say, we don't yet have a solution. There is this. I mean, literally, you are able to brute force it, but it's not easy. Would probably take an extremely long time. Someone could probably calculate just how long it would take. Sound design for these puzzles. Are you confusing it with the animal eyes? Because that's technically a different puzzle. But yeah, really good design though, I agree with you. Okay. So we will just go up here. And once again, now we know what these knives mean. We didn't know before, but we've since learned that the knives are a symbol of the resistance. Like the resistance against Gen. So anytime you see a knife like this, you know it's actually a clue. Like in this case, it's a clue that you can actually just go under the door. Pretty neat. Oh. I guess I could just do it from here, right? Yeah. That's a lot quicker. Which leaves us to the top level here, and that's, I think, all the new things that we can do here. Let me see something really quick. There is a weird little Easter egg. Let me see if I can trigger it. The eerie music here is so crazy. I think there's a way that when you enter this room that you'll see Gen projecting into the little temple of worship, but can't remember how to actually trigger it. Okay, and that's, I think, everything that we can do here right now. So let's go back to Gen's lab. Okay. Get to sit in the chair in the other room, which we've already done. I think you need to enter from the front. Okay. And someone pointed out that the gun is now gone. I only remember where the gun was, so it was in one of these desks. There was a gun that is now missing. So that's wonderful. Really creepy. Okay, now we're gonna take the back exit and we're gonna go over to this new island. Let's try pressing that button. Is this... I thought that that button is the one that summons... the thing. Okay, cool. Soundtrack for this game used to be my sleeping music. Oh my gosh. Marty O'Donnell, the Halo music guy, worked on the sound for this game. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Oh, crap. Wrong button. I was trying to click my I'm about to make disgusting slurping noises button. I hit the bleep button by accident. Okay. Might be the shortest tram ride in the game. I also remember there's like a part where the way the maglev is facing, like you can use it almost like a bridge. Like if I turn it around. Actually, that's the way on. Hang on. Let's do that. We got backwards. Let's do it the way it was originally. Yeah, so it actually faces two ways, which is kind of cool. Use it like a little bridge. The first of which goes upstairs into the main portion of the island. Let's go the other way first. Do this a little bit unconventionally. Just because I don't remember what's over here. So this is the elevator down, I think. Right, okay. So we don't want to go here yet. Do we want to go here yet? Ah, fuck it. I know I want to go up top first to get some important stuff. Really cool looking area here, by the way. You can actually look down through this into the elevator room that I was just in. Which is cool. The brain hurt stream, not as bad as Baba, that's for sure. But we are probably going to solve the two major puzzles of this game in this stream. Really cool walkway here. Like a giant fissure. And it's even cooler once you realize there's more to this area too. So let's go up. Button. Lore behind the water in this game is really interesting. Yeah, in the last stream we learned that water on Riven is repelled by heat. So they use that to make underground like water tunnels where they use like heat rings. Which is kind of cool. And then you look over here and check it out. I think it's kind of obvious what it is, but in case it's not, these are the 5 islands. This is also like another confirmation that those 5 symbols that we saw before are essentially the different islands of Riven. And the giant fissure going down straight through the middle of the age. And of course, these are actual buttons too that you can click. They bubble up. Is this loss? This game would be kind of cool in VR. The style movement is almost the same too. I guess now that we've kicked off the stream too, that's a good segue into talking about Firmament, which is the new Cyan game that they're kickstarting. Which Abduction they'd put in VR. The next game, which is Firmament, is also going to be built from the ground up for VR. And I'm very excited. I was actually going to play the Kickstarter video if y'all want to watch it with me. Because it's kind of neat. See this badass making the music. It just launched a couple days ago, actually. So let's watch the Kickstarter video. I guess I should mute Riven too. Alright, let's watch this.
Hey everybody, this is Rand Miller here. Probably a lot of you have seen me in our last Kickstarter. Let me start out by saying thank you. We've done 2 of these so far, and they've been so satisfying and successful only because of the support you guys have given us. It's been amazing. We're so humbled and grateful for this way to continue our ability to make worlds. So thank you so much. And we're here because we've got something new for you. It's exciting. We wouldn't bring it to you if we weren't excited about it. Before we've got funding, before we were able to even know if we could do this project, we did a teaser because we were so excited about it. The name of the project is Firmament. We've also done even a little small slice of this so we could test it. One of the reasons we built a little vertical slice of the game is because we wanted to make sure that it was satisfying and interesting, and it was. We are a small indie developer, and we love the idea that what we're doing
Oh man, my mic is muted. It's funny, when I first saw this video, I thought this clip here was from the game.
We are a small indie developer, and
but it's actually just the front entrance to the Cyan offices in Spokane, Washington. It's kind of funny.
we love the idea that what we're doing is not building games, but we're building worlds. And Firmament is the next world that we have in mind. Our games are typically solitary experiences. You explore these worlds on your own. This adventure won't be quite so solitary. There's this device that becomes part of this journey with you. It is an integral part of both the story and the puzzles. Firmament, like a lot of our games, has some interesting narrative, but Firmament especially, we don't want to reveal too much. You are gonna enjoy the ride. The puzzles that we're building, the friction that we're putting in the environments is kind of unique. It has some callbacks to Myst. We're kind of embracing this whole steampunk magic vibe, that cool machinery. Firmament is all about that. We're also going to have different worlds. You guys know that we always take you to very unique and interesting worlds, and the whole storyline supports that. It's diverse and interesting. We're building Firmament for VR. We love VR here. It's working really well. Those of you without VR, there will also be a flat screen experience for you. We hope you're as excited as we are. We like this project. We think you're gonna like it. It's a new IP. We are excited about the narrative, but now is our chance to see if you guys are excited about it, and Kickstarter gives us that opportunity. Check the tiers below, find one that works for you. We've got, of course, the usual goodies. Thank you again. I don't think I could say it enough. The whole idea of having fans and community that support us is amazing to us. That just blows my mind. We're still here, and we still think some of our best work is to come. So join us on Firmament, support us as best as you can, and we will try to give you yet another amazing world to explore. Thank you, guys.
Looks really cool. Very like leaning hard into the steampunk kind of the steampunk vibe. And yeah, I'm absolutely gonna back it. I think I'm gonna do the $49 tier. Get the DLC skins for my Robo bro. Yeah. And you can kind of already, at least I can kind of guess the structure. I'm sure other people got the same vibe too, where there's a giant door with 5 lights, and each light is a different symbol, and each symbol probably represents a different like age, so to speak. And once you unlock all 5, the big door opens up. Question is, what's behind the door? I wonder. And yeah, you can actually see some of the skins here, or maybe just the forms that the companion takes. It's pretty neat. Very neat. I keep meaning to get this Myst shirt too. I almost bought it when I was at PAX South. But I didn't. Did I like Abduction? Yeah, I did very much. I thought Abduction was very good. I like Abduction more than Myst, but not as much as Riven. And let's unmute the game. So clicking the button makes things bubble up. Wait, where can I find that shirt? Fangamer.com. What happens is the island of the thing you're clicking bubbles up for reasons that we can't quite tell yet. But maybe we'll find out. It's funny, when my dad played this and I watched him when I was a kid, we looked past this crack here because it looks so small that doesn't even seem like you could fit through it. But turns out you can. And you can see some of the cool Rivenese like totems. Another one of these. That worked. I just spammed it. And I think we actually even have the code, but we haven't encountered the Riven number system in the game yet. It's weird because I could have sworn that we normally would have encountered it by now. But on the inside, you can see a linking book, which must go to Gen's little office age. Okay, and then we come up here, and you can actually see the button that we pushed on a 5x5 grid. And each button, which represents another square, itself is 5x5. Does that sound familiar? Anyone know what this is? What this machine is? I think this square is probably the most telling of what this machine does. You can select an island, then you can select a spot on that island. It's a topography machine. Question is, why would we need a topography machine? It has to do deeply with the fire marble puzzle. To look at the topography, of course. The real reason, and I forget if this is something that you're supposed to even know at this point, but there's exactly one thing on each of the 5 islands. And you know that the fire marbles all correspond with a spot on each island. And what the fire marbles do is they power the domes that provide a link to Gen's age, the little domes. So when you kind of mentally connect all these dots, you realize that you use this topography machine in order to find the exact location on the map of the small domes. And then that is what you use to solve the fire marble puzzle. There might be some more clues to that fact, but I just happen to remember it because I played this a bunch. So let me start jotting some of these down. So the one on, let's see, gotta notice the grids. Yeah, it's really just about, and I don't think there is anything that overtly tells you what you're supposed to be looking for here. It's more just making that kind of assumption when you connect all the dots of like what purpose each thing serves. I always got the grid wrong when doing the fire marbles. Okay, let me write some of these down. So I've got and it's there, and then it looks like it's on the upper left. Yeah, it's in the far corner. It's weird how another little handle just kind of appears. Okay, and then it is the far upper left node, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is here. Okay. So the next 5 to 10 minutes might be kind of boring while I kind of suss out each individual little dome location. There's 3 layers of grids. Yeah, there's the grid. There's the giant grid where each island is placed. There's like the subsections of the islands, and then there's the exact location of the dome in the subsection. So you're right. It's like a 3 layers deep grid. There's also this tiny little island, which is the one I'm going to look at next. It's the only island we haven't been to. And it's kind of hard to tell. So it's the far right wall. No, far top, second from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only did, oh crap. I realized I just did this wrong. I did 4x4. Let's see. Astroski, thank you so much for 25 months resub. Thank you. All right, see you, RoboCoon. Thanks for tuning in. I drew 5 lines and it needs to be, but it only makes a 4x4 grid. Let's see. God, my drawings are horrible. Okay. Okay, and we'll go back. And let me just look at this one more time. Make sure I did this right. So it is here. Okay, yeah, I did it right. Cool. You're not even 25 months old. You were still but a fetus. All right, let's do this island, which I think is actually the island we're on right now. Maybe. Okay. No, this is the boiler island. You can tell because it's a giant crater. Can you even see where the dome is? Because it's inside, isn't it? Unless this is it. I would think that's Gen's lab, though. I think this is it. Maybe? But the dome is underground. I'm trying to remember if there's like an easy indicator. But that's the only thing that really pops out. So I'm gonna write that one down. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it is the upper left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is this one. I think that's it. Just because that's the only thing that really stands out. Not to mention they have to drill a hole through it because of that ventilation duct that goes through the top that we climb through. Oh boy, I hope I wrote that down right. Okay. This is the island that we're on. I'm pretty positive. Oh yeah, you can really tell how distinct it looks. There's the rift. There's a very, very tall something or another. And then there's the little dome. So yeah, okay, so this is the front of the island where you first walk in. There's the rift you walk up. You climb the ladder, it leads up here. And there's the dome. So good old Tetris L here. And it's on the nub of the L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is really hard to tell which nub it is. Looks like it's the one right. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is left wall, second down, right? Yeah. Okay. One more. It's the big island. Okay. I am playing Exile after this. And after that, I'm gonna play. Might check out Uru. I forget if Uru is before or after Revelation. But I'm gonna play them all. Is that it? Looks like that might be it. God, some of these are so tall. Alright, see you, Stickener. I hope you feel better soon. Okay, so I gotta play Revelation and then Uru. And then we'll do End of Ages, and then we'll do Pissed. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, drawing was okay. It is on this one. And it looks like this right here. Yeah, that's totally it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is this boy right there. Cool. If I still had my webcam hooked up, I could show you my notes. But Uru is a terrible game, but I love it. I've never played it. I haven't looked for Pissed yet, but I'm gonna try to look for it. I was thinking about even as a bonus checking out the Titanic point-and-click adventure. It has nothing to do with Myst, but it'd be fun. Could show us my nose. Oh, you don't want to see my nose. My super Jewy nose. Oh my gosh. It's so freaking huge. Actually, no, I'm exaggerating. It's more like bulbous than it is huge. Nothing's wrong with it, I guess. Nothing's really wrong with it. It's fine. It smells. Unlike my dad's nose. My dad lost his sense of smell in a car accident. Believe it or not. It's true. I'm not even kidding. He literally did. Owl209, thank you so much for the 20 months resub. Thank you. The Steam version of Revelation has some issues running. The mouse stutters. I don't think... Ugh. Gross. Is that before or after the anniversary edition came out? Did that affect what he likes to eat? It did. Especially certain tastes like peppermint are actually mostly odor. So, like, once he lost his sense of smell, he can't really taste peppermint. It just kind of tastes like dull and bitter. So, let's see. I think that's all that's up here right now. It also hit me that I think I need to be getting what the golden symbols are from each little dome. So we might need to be making some trips around to do that. We could even start with this just so we don't need to come back later. So let's go ahead and open it up again. Or close it again. I'm Indian, so I got that big chunk. Yeah, those darn Indians with their big chunks. Peppermint is spicy, don't at me. I mean, it's strong. I don't know if spicy is the right word. Let's see, can you see the... Looks like it's just the line straight across. I think. Okay. Just gonna mash it till it works again. There we go. Cool. All right, I think that's all we need from here. Soda is spicy because the carbonation hurts my tongue. I'm not sure if we have the same definitions of spicy, man. Here's a question for y'all. Is wasabi spicy? Once again, the gorgeous little area here. Really nice music, too. Do people think it's not? I mean, it's a very particular kind of spice. Like, would you call horseradish spicy? Or onions spicy? Real wasabi is quite mild. Really? Is that true? It's like acid spicy. Wasabi is acid spicy. You're getting as bad as like rock genres. Dude, wasabi is so post-grunge spice. Shoegaze spicecore is what wasabi is. It's one of my favorite animations in the game. This elevator really creeped me out. I wonder if you can look down at the elevator from above here. Like, can I leave the elevator where it is? I just want to see if you can see anything unique from up here. Darn, you can't. That's a bummer. LaCroix is spicy water. I remember me and my friend James tried that when I was in middle school. We tried to put hot sauce in the freezer to make like spicicles. And we'd just freeze it for like a couple of days until it was nice and frozen. And it was disgusting. It was so bad. We just had like Frank's Red Hot on like little toothpicks, and we called them spicicles, and we were gonna sell them until it was like horrible. I think there's more text here if I'm not mistaken. Let's go back to this. Oh, actually it was up on the dome at the survey dome. It says, there's a bit of debris around the small building on Map Island, the one with the metal pin maps. Our Lord Gen has instructed us to learn all. You know, at least Gen really values education. A fictional tyrant valuing education more than our current administration does. It's crazy. Not to start a debate, of course. I regret saying that already. I'm sure some of y'all saw that news, though. Weird how you don't see your own reflection in the window here. Get submerged in the goop. The player is a vampire. Love this area. You know, it's funny because Riven is really just one age, and I always, like, in my mind, interpreted as one age. But when it comes down to it, if you wanted to compare it to Myst, I guess the 5 islands are kind of like the 5 ages of Riven. And each island, like, rather than having to solve a bunch of puzzles to quote-unquote complete it, you're more just supposed to learn the purpose of each island. And, oh god. And once it's all connected, then you know what to do. What kind of pizza are you making, Pam? I remember when poor Rev would talk about his protest stuff and chat would flip as politics. Yeah. The person's also wearing the same outfit as the people in the stained glass paintings in the temple. Can I just call them back before they even get there? Be funny, it just pulls them back. Pepperoni on pizza, yes or no? Pepperoni on pizza? I mean, that's not exactly a controversial question. I'd say yes. Pineapple on pizza. If it's shitty like Pizza Hut pizza, then yes. If it's like artisan Italian pizza, then no. Here, let's reverse it. Flip it and reverse it. Oh, interesting. You can't even look left and right once you flipped it and reversed it. Okay, before we take that tram to where it goes, we're gonna go up these really claustrophobic steps. I love the whole atmosphere of this island. I don't remember what half this stuff does. Because that's my rotate button. That brings up my viewfinder. There's some buttons. Huh. Oh. Yeah, I know what this is. There's supposed to be an animation, I thought. This is actually Catherine's prison room. Normally she's in there too, but right now there is no Catherine. Katrin, as she's supposed to be pronounced, I think. Have fun, KY. Goodbye, my wife, Pam. Alright. You have a good evening, Mim. Have fun in Boston. Oh, there she is. You can see her wandering around. This is where Gen can observe the creeper he is. What does this one do? Okay, here we go. So here you can learn what each symbol, you start to tie the symbols together to different things. So in this case, like the island that we're on, which I'm pretty sure is this one based on the small dome, because each dome opens up from a different symbol. The one that we're on is orange, so I'm gonna write that. Orange. I just want to see this thing spear something with its tusk. Okay, so that symbol's red, I guess. Okay, am I gonna get my mouse back here? There we go. So that's an eye slightly open. So eye slightly open. It's red. This one is vertical line and nothing. This one is sideways open, cat eye. The dot. And that's blue. Anyone remember where we've seen these colors before? Green. Yellow. Okay. It's weird. That makes me think that this one's actually this island, because that's what makes the whale come. But if that's this island, then it would be like that. Okay. Where's the camera you're looking through? I guess it's here. Because the red. Alright. So we've now tied symbols with colors. And then using the door open symbol on each of the small domes, we can tie the symbols with islands. And with that, we can tie islands, symbols, colors. And with the map, we also have the locations of the domes. At that point, that's when you should realize that this is all working towards the fire marble solution. It's just all tied together. I like the kind of wibbly wobbly railings here. Okay, so now I think we've pretty much done what we need to do on this island. I think this goes back to the village island. I always loved the Myst series and the Journeyman Project games. Yeah, I love Journeyman Project. That's one I should revisit at some point too. Journeyman Project 1 was funny because it had a really interesting anti-piracy measure where at the very beginning of the game, before you can embark on your first time mission, like you need to enter the like a 9-digit password that can only be found in the instruction manual. And we didn't have it because we bought it like third party. We didn't have the instruction manual. But me, being a smart little kid, I went and I brute forced it because I figured out that when you start to enter the code, if you enter a right number, it gives you like an affirmative like bing noise when you put in a number right. Or if you put something wrong in it, like it will stop what you're doing and say wrong code, access denied, and then start from the beginning. So with that, you can find the first bing, write it down, then keep going through and find the second bing and write it down, and so on, until eventually you have all 9 numbers. And it would take me like 10-15 minutes at a time, and I would never keep this thing I wrote down. So I'd play through this game every couple years and just brute force it every single time. Really terrible anti-piracy. I like how they scratch the wall here where the elevator controls are, just to kind of reiterate to you that there's 3 floors to use. You were allowed to pirate, you just had to work for it. Commit to the theft. Then, look where we are. We're back here at the weird idol. And you can actually like close the mouth of the creature too. So that's kind of cool. But we're not done. You violated the law. Oh, it didn't save my soundbite from that one time. Whoops. Okay. And this gives us access to our next spinning dome. You can actually see the symbol for a second. Okay. So this is actually the red one. Right. Because it's the eye that's mostly open, but with a line. Okay. Cool. So then I was right about this one being the orange left to right. There we go. Not that we know the code exactly yet. I mean, we know the symbols, but we don't know the numbers. And if we come up here, they alert the village again to our presence. I always hated it when this happened because I always felt like some asshole with like a dart gun was gonna get me or something. That's right, I always forget this building's even up here. Wish I could look up at the top of it. Oh, this... If this is the part I think it is, this is really cool. Oh, it's not the part I thought it was. Never mind. You can actually... Oh, no, it says. Okay. So, when you do this, it closes that thing. Which, like I said, everything in Riven, not only do they serve functional purposes, but everything in Riven also has a thematic and a plot relevance to it. So, the whole purpose of this, which some of the murals on the walls and some of the things in a building we're going to find later kind of allude to, is that Gen tortures and punishes the villagers of Riven by hanging them from this central thing. And then he'll feed them to, like, the work animals. Like the weird like, water predators. He hangs them from here, and then he opens it like this to feed the people who he's essentially torturing, if I remember. We actually just want to keep it closed, because we're going to use that as a platform in a bit. Yeah, the renders look amazing still, don't they? They really do. So just imagine, like, Gen, who has this huge god complex, creating this insane, like, sinister-looking throne with which he can elevate himself above the village and then dole out his punishment. Even when you just look at the throne here, it looks so sinister. You really just kind of get a strong mental image of this madman sitting on his throne, torturing people. Okay, so now that we've done that, we are going to go to the village again. I think we missed a path the first time we went through the village. Okay. He's still one of my top bad guys. Yeah, me too. Oh my god. I hate it. That scary little girl. Do me a frigton. Let's see. So there's that path. And this just goes back to here. I think just goes to the same place, right? Yeah. The throne is made of a work skull. Yeah. Back to the creepy Marimba cave. Some cave drawings of Gen holding little men above the works. Let's see. So there's something I've missed here. How do I summon the thing? What am I missing? I think I've missed a path up here. Let's see, there's that door. It's over where the seal guys are. The path that I'm missing. Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right. I vaguely remember that now. I think last time I streamed this, something like 8 years ago, I missed that path then, too. You're talking about these guys? That's right. I forgot that there's a whole path here. Of course, the village is already completely abandoned. Not abandoned, but they're hiding. We have another eyeball. Let's see, where's my eyeball page? So this is, it looks like a DI. Okay. And when we fill it with water, Looks a bit like something, doesn't it? It's a beeble. You can even, when you do the eyeball thing, you can hear the wings flapping. And remember, Gen does not exactly know the purpose of these eyes. He just knows that every time he removes them, they get replaced too. So it's not Gen that's doing these eyeball shenanigans. Someone else. Okay. And actually, so we've got frog, whale, pelican seals. I have water in a question mark, and then beeble. So water is, I think, a fish. If I'm not mistaken. Gen talks about how he fished it out of the lake. It's also hitting me that I think all 5 of the eyeballs are on this island. I don't think they're anywhere else in Riven. Man, time for this bullshit. Every missed game needs one. Okay, time to get a crude map going. Can I even go forward this way? Then this, I think, just determines if I'm going left or right. Okay, can I turn paths here? Okay, cool. And from here, we're gonna go right. Which I think just leads to... that, and I don't think there's anything forward from here, right? Okay. So this is just an exit node 2. Whereas it makes sense for them to all be on this island. Yeah, that's exactly right. Because once you know the purpose of the eyeballs, there's no reason for them to be on any other island. They're not trying to help Gen, you know. Because it's also important to remember that Gen, really, this is the only island where the Rivenese people live. All of the other islands just serve for Gen. Okay. Alright, we'll turn around. Put forward. And then forward again. Just lurching up this little hill. Then there's a node. Before we continue forward, we'll peek out here. Okay, so this leads to the gallows, or whatever you want to call them. I'm gonna call it Hangman. forward. Leads to another split going backwards and a split going forward. So first let's do the split that's going backwards. We came from the one on the left, so let's go right now. More weird water spots. Leads to a dead end. Hey, an actual ladder. And this goes to some kind of tall room. Okay, if I remember, these are just the ladders. It's so non-obvious what these do, and really the only way you can figure it out is by trial and error. Or I guess if you're really observant, you realize that there were exactly 2 ladders down. Or, sorry, 3 ladders down and 2 that were up. Then you might tie that with this pattern, but otherwise it's just trial and error. So, only thing you can really do is... I'm just going to save myself the time and just do them. There's sometimes a glitch where the thing that you've been riding around is like still up here. But in this case, it's not like that. You can also see the actual different spots throughout the lake here. I guess you could map it out. Like this is the way we came from. Like here's the whatchamacallit. You know, the hangman thing. Still haven't been over here. So we'll go back. Oh. Wait, did I do this wrong? I think they're supposed to be the other direction. Which is weird. You'd think it would be levered down for ladder down. The thingy. There we go. And this shouldn't go anywhere else. Okay. And forward. Okay, so now we can go left or right. Let's go right. You aren't lowering them, you're extending them forward. Yeah. See where this went. To a cave. The ladder. Oh, we're back at the... Wait, at the beginning. Did it loop around? This must loop around. Huh. Okay. Well, if that's the case... But that's a dead end, isn't it? I'm confused. So this should go to... No, it goes to another split. Right ladder room, left goes to hangman. Turn around. Oh, turn around. And we'll go left this time. The subpaths are confusing because that looked like it went to the same spot as the start. Okay, this is clearly a dead end at least. Got a nice P-zone ad. What the hell is P-zone? Also, the handle on this door has 5 spokes. Once again, the number 5 just coming up everywhere. So this room is kind of infamous from a design standpoint, and easily one of my favorite parts of the game. This room here is it's actually a Rivenese school. It's where like the children come to learn, and you can see like the walls here actually have the Rivenese alphabet. But you can't really learn the language from this game, at least. I know some people have deciphered the language, obviously, because we have that translation that we were using. See some stuff written down here too. A 5-point kind of fruit of some kind. You can see the lamps have like little works on them. We come up here. Guess who?
Terekoi Danni, Kibayem Revat, Alroyem Betig Tavom, Gabodona Gayem.
I like how he's kind of looking around the room. Wonder if that translation is in our little guide here somewhere. I know we have the bat on the blackboard. And let's see. To device. Okay. It says turning the handle produce a grainy shimmering image. A man speaking in the same local language. No idea what he was saying, but there's a tone of public speaker, imperious but gracious again himself. It doesn't say what he said though. Ah. Okay. And also, there's some chalkboard. Here's what it says. The rules of Gen. Gen is our master. Gen created us. Gen defeated Atris. So not only is Gen painting himself to be like a god figure, but he also even vilifies Atris, just in case he ever decides to come back to Riven and tell the people what's what, lest they have some kind of rebel uprising. Those pesky rebels. So, then of course there's this conspicuous thing in here. A little school game. Once again alluding to the people hanging from the hangman tower. And you can see the little work at the bottom. But this serves a much greater purpose, at least from a design standpoint. I'm sure some of you have already figured out by now. But I'll let this cycle of the game continue through before we start writing some stuff down. Love this number game. It's such a good world building tool. It's a good world building tool and it serves a design purpose. It's amazing. The fact that they use this to teach the player the numbering system and it's consistent with something you would find in a school, like it's a children's game. And it also like has to do with like the idea of indoctrinating the Rivenese villagers into like, if you disobey Gen, you will be punished. So that being said, let's write some of these down. Oh, and I screwed up already. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I wrote down 1 through 20, and hopefully that's enough. 1, 2, 3. But I think as long as it gets caught by the work, the number is incomplete, so you can't really count it. So let's learn us some numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was 7. Okay. 1. That's also 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it got eaten, so we can't count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's our 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My handwriting is so terrible. It doesn't help that I put 1 through 20 in just a giant column on the very left side of the page, whereas I could have spread out, you know, and made it a little bit easier to parse, but that's okay. There is a system to it, and 1, 2. The more you learn it, the more it just makes sense, and you can kind of predict it once you have enough of the symbols written. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could have guessed that one because it's on the title screen of the game. Oh, it reset it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That one's 10. We already know that one. I know that one means rice field. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. We already did that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7. We already did this one. That's a 10. Are these all the numbers that it's going to teach us? I feel like we're getting the same ones over and over. But we got 3, we got 5. It only teaches up to 10 or something. Yeah, I knew that. Like, it's limited. And there's 10 again. Yeah, I was gonna get into that in a little bit, Spurg alert. Caught by the work. Oh my god. Okay, enough 10s. Give us some new numbers. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, give me something that's not 10. I got it. I know what 10 is. 2. There's 2. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Okay, we still need 1. We still need number 1, I think is all we really need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Game only 10 now. It's 2 or 3. No, it's 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 1 is an up-down line, if I'm not mistaken. Because 6 is a 5 and an up-down line. So to save us the time, because we could be sitting here forever trying to get our number 1, I'm pretty positive 1 is just an up-down line. And the numbering system, what it is up-down is 1. A kind of a D is 2. A K is a 3. Kind of like an R is a 4. And then a 5 is left to right. And then it repeats because it's kind of like base 5, whereas our current math is like base 10 before you're adding symbols. In Rivenese, it's base 5 because everything's based in 5. So once you hit 5, then to do 6, you just put a 1 on top of that 5. So you have a left-right, which is 5, and then up-down to add 1 to that. Or like a 7 would be a 5, which is left-right, and then the D symbol, which is like a 2. So then 10... But 10's a little bit different. 10 is just like 10 is just like a 2, but turned counterclockwise. So I guess 5 is just like a 1, except turned counterclockwise. There is no symbol for a 5. This is just a counterclockwise 1. So they take that. So it, needless to say, a 15 is probably a 3 turned counterclockwise. And then a 20 would be a 4 turned counterclockwise. Right. So with that, I could probably fill out the rest of the numbers myself. 8. 9. 10. So then 11 is a 2 turn counterclockwise because base 5. And then plus 1, which is up and down. 12. 13. 14. 3 3 turn counterclockwise. And then 20 would be counterclockwise. I'm gonna go up to 25 in my notes. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so this would be that. And then I gotta fill it in, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonder what they do for 25 since 5 turned counterclockwise is just 1. Yeah, I wondered that too. Maybe Rivenese can only count up to 25. 1, 2. See. 3. Wait. Oh crap, I screwed this up. Crap. Hang on. Scribble out these notes. Okay. That's 1, 2. And 3, 4. 20, and then 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Okay, so I've got most of these numbers jotted down, and with that, I can actually go back to the notebook in Gen's lab, and I jotted down a sequence here. The fire marble sequence that we had learned. Or not the fire marble sequence, but like the key code to enter the dome sequence. So with that, I've got, let's see, the first symbol is a 2. Then I think 10. Yeah. 10. And then I have 20. Then I've got 22. Then I've got 24. No, 23. 23. So the code is 2, 10, 20, 22, 23. Yeah. So just such a cool little piece of design. Serves to teach you the numbering system. It serves to teach the school kids not to mess with Gen, where they get the work. Just nice world building there. And I think that's all that is here. Yeah. Okay, let me go back to my water map. So that went to the school. We'll turn around. Wait, what am I doing? All we did was turn around. There we go. This should bring us to a left-right. And we are going to go left. which brings us to the hangman. We're gonna go straight again. Brings us to a left, right, and then we're gonna go right, which is a way we have not yet been, as far as I know. What's up in Mistland? We just learned ourselves some numbers. Let's see, can we go straight from here? Okay. And this goes back to the village. So this is just the other loop through the village. So all that's left would be the hangman area that we haven't been to yet. We also, with those numbers, we've also can decipher the animal eyes, because those all had a number on them too. So with that in mind, the whale was 1, the beetle was 2, the water... Wait, no, the whale's 5, I'm sorry. Whale's 5. The water thing, which I think is a fish, is 1. The frog is 3, and the pelican seals is 4. Okay, so now we're in. It's that, and then straight one more time. Maybe. I think this is where I want to be. The Count would be so proud. Okay, so this leads to our little hangman spot, which really skews me out even just standing here. Can you look up from any of these spots? No. And there's also... You can hear the hungry work. Got stuck in my first playthrough, couldn't find the fish. Yeah, the fish, I only know it because I know fish is part of the solution. There's apparently some hint to it too, other than the fact that Gen writes in his journal that he kept finding it in the lake. And, you know, fish are in lake, I guess. But I've seen... I remember reading a walkthrough and them saying that if you look at the lake from a certain angle and where the eye is supposed to be, you can see the outline of the fish. I don't know. Just look. Ugh, creepy. Very creepy. This leads to a prison of some kind. Strange. Now, before we free him, I think, like, if you walk away and then come back. No. I thought there was some way to get him to disappear besides just letting him out. There's a little bit of text there, too. Oh, here we go. You open the door to confront this jabroni who's in prison. But then when you go, he's no longer there. It's an elaborate hint. Oh, crap. And just a way of telling you that there has to be another something in this room. Because how else would he have disappeared all of a sudden? also plays into the lore because he's trying to lure people who he thinks he can trust into his little secret. This little secret here. Spooky. But first, oh, why is it undoing it? I thought it would just stay open. And we're gonna go back before we venture into that area and see what's this way first. I think it's just a shortcut. Yeah. A good 10-15 years before Dark Souls came out. Now we can come back up here easily. Okay. I hate that you have to just stick your hand in here. Ugh. There should have been like a little Rivenese knife or something at the drain. Okay. So we go in here, click around a bit. Leads back to this. A light that you can turn on. And each light illuminates the next one. Just enough that wait, hang on. Did I do this wrong? This leads me out. I feel like I should be able to click on this. Is there another light here that I'm missing? And this just leads out, right? You don't want to do that. Ah, there we go. God. Which leads into this new area. Then finally, into the second major puzzle of this game. One of the two major puzzles, I guess. There's two major puzzles. Like, one is the fire marble. The whole culmination of discovering, like, which color belongs to which symbol, belongs to which island, belongs to which area on the grid. And then this, where it's like which animal is which eyeball is which number. And of course, the knife symbol again, the symbol of the Riven, the Rivenese rebels. So what this all comes to is discovering this kind of this room. Let me pull up my animals again. So one is like a fish, which might be this. Or is it this? Also, we should save. Okay. I think the fish is this one. Maybe. It's either that or it is this. Like a whale. No, whale is 5. But there's also these whales. Which I think that's what I meant by whale. Alright, we're gonna try this one. That's 1. 2 is the beetle. This one, right? Okay, 3 is frog. What's that over there? Is it? Frog? Is that it? Guess that's it. So 4 is pelican seal. Which are these. And 5 is the whale, which I think is this. Did it work? Oh no, didn't do anything. Which means we probably fucked up. Damn it. Oh, no, 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 no. No, I didn't want to do that. What are you doing? Can I reset? Or do I actually need to click? Ah, I gotta click 5 more. So that didn't work. Okay, so maybe this is the fish that needs to get clicked. So let's try that. So that's fish. 2 is beetle. 3 is frog. Is there another frog kind of looking thing? This is the only frog that I can see. Not that. Frog. 4 is pelican seal. And 5 is this one. Did not work. Crap. And then I keep clicking this to reset it. Which this will never be part of the solution. Unless I jotted down numbers wrong. Oh crap, I keep doing that to reset things. Oh. So you can just undo it by clicking it. Huh. Man, what did I do wrong? Is there another fish it could be? Maybe this is the actual whale that I'm supposed to be looking at. Because that's a wark. Okay, let's do 1 is this fish. What's this? No. Okay, so let's try that fish. I'm pretty positive about this beetle. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's a goddamn fish. And what's this? It's like a different kind of fish. Okay, fish. 2, beetle. 3, frog. What's that over there? Is it seal? And then maybe. There we go. It leads to the linking book. Kind of weird, this like weird smudge around the link. Leads to a new age. I believe it's called the Moiety Age. It's also on the cover art. It's also, oh, hang on, I'll talk about it more in a sec. Man, the linking sound in this game is so weird. Just gonna save again. So, it's also the reason I opened with the song Pyramid Song by Radiohead at the beginning of the stream. Because for some reason when I first heard that song, it reminded me of this very distinctly. Even though it's clearly not a pyramid. I don't know. Just the mood of it, I guess. And there's a lake. Can't really go anywhere. Its canon name is Tay, that's right. Leads to the Mist Collections. I always thought the smudge looked like a slab of agate rock. But it was a rock that had the same properties. Yeah, because you got to remember that the linking technologies of the people in the Age of Riven are very different than standard art writing, or you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say. Oh. You might recognize the guy who knocked you out. The outfit from the very beginning of the game is the dude who knocked out the guard. It's also a clever way to capture anyone who was not supposed to find this area. Because there's nowhere to go but into that little cave. That's also, I think, the guy that was in the prison. In other words, all of those clues around the village island, they all lead to the entrance to the Rebel Age. It's a way for the villagers of that Riven Island to find the Resistance headquarters without Gen finding it. Which, you know, Gen is really smart. It kind of shocks me that he hasn't found this age himself. That's his job. They chose him for a strong blowing ability. I wake up. The bowl. Can see where I am now. See the village. Really cool. Very peaceful. Cool sound effect when you click on the door. What time we got? Oh man, it's almost midnight. Maybe I won't be finishing this today. Yalepo.
Bekaretere wirape yelo kene falapo. Tisai. Why te fulupe?
person who took your books from the beginning just gave them back. So now we've got a couple things. Ooh. Oh boy. At least the pages are relatively small. Here's another thing, and you can actually see what it's tied to, so that's kind of nice. Before you ask, yes, we are going to read this. Oh, it's so long. And then... oh. I didn't finish. Is there more?
Sirapo. Ibuko mo buko wisipo. Na vene. Tapo mo revene beno.
Oh, you see they put like a tablet over the book in order to make the link work without a power source. Gen uses... man, hate talking over her even though you can't understand it. It's kind of interesting. Gen uses like a gigantic water-based power source in order to power his linking books. The Rivenese use this weird stone slab to activate their linking books. Whereas a real linking book doesn't need a power source, it just is. Alright, we're going to save here and we're going to do a bad ending. Because not only did we get that stuff back, but we got this fake Dunny linking book, which, as you know from the very beginning of the game, is actually a fake. It just leads to a prison. So, what happens when you click it?
Vai. Una sauce. Jano kene boko mo boko sipo. Freitag.
First bad ending. Just getting trapped in the linking book and a rebel being like, no, you idiot. It's a fake. Pretty great. Huh. Apparently you can't skip the credits, which is fine. Allow me to read chat for a minute before I get into bedtime story mode. Just like the last stream, we'll wrap up the stream with the reading portion. That way, if you're not into the reading lore stuff, then you can just duck out before that part. And I'll see you next time. But if you are into the lore, then we're about to have ourselves a nice reading sesh. Credits are cool, yeah. Lore. You're not gonna miss much, Melty. I'm just gonna read the lore dump that we just got, and then we're gonna wrap up. So, we'll finish Riven next stream. Because what's left is we need to meet up with Catherine and free her from Prison Island. We need to meet up with Gen. We need to find Gen and trap him somehow. And we need to solve the fire marble puzzle, which will power the little domes that go to Gen's office age. And then we need a signal Atris. So there's probably about, I'm gonna say an hour and a half left in the game. That way next stream we can finish Riven and then maybe jump into Exile. And Exile is less directly connected, whereas Riven literally picks up where Mist ends. Exile kind of, there's like, it's in a new setting, so. floor lore. I wish I could skip these credits. God damn. Extra special thanks to the Science team. Your efforts have been superhuman. Thank you for caring about this project. Families and loved ones, everyone associated for living through deadlines with us. I think their parents were on borrowed for love. Yeah. How nice. Alright, good night, Groove Duke. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And thanks for all the new follows and stuff this evening, guys. Y'all are great. Okay. So now let's... I should have done that after I did the lore dump. It would have been more interesting. Let's read this lore dump. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of reading. So just hang tight. If you're interested in the lore, then great. If not, then this would probably be where you want to tune out, because I'm just going to end the stream when we're done. Okay. Y'all ready? I linked to Riven a week ago. The smell of the place overwhelmed me moments before I could see anything. With my sight only partially cleared, I stood motionless, peering ahead through a dim veil, which was slowly lifting. There was a violent... I can't read that word. There's a violent lang, and hers, and has appeared. I can't read that word. The handwriting is really tough to read. I remember breathing slowly and very deeply, tasting the familiar Riven air, but not recognizing a thing. Clang. There's a violent clang, and something appeared. Hers appeared, is what it looks like to me, but I'm not sure. I must have been hit with the dart right away. I thought it was an insect bite at first. I'm trying to remember it all, but it's difficult. Maybe because of the drug. The drug. It's because of the drug. There was a voice. A man I did not recognize stood before me. Rivenese, though he was wearing Oni dress. He seemed to be talking to me. But the poison was already taking effect. A shadow crept in and I fell asleep. Then there were many noises, but I understood none of them. Like hundreds of people whispering. I couldn't wake up. No matter. The dream did end. And now, to be here with... Eti? Now to be here with that. It's been so many years. I didn't realize how much I've missed her. Wait. Here with... I guess that might be Katrin's like Rivenese name. I'm not positive. It's been so many years. I didn't realize how much I missed her. Like a piece of me that I had forgotten I had lost. She's beautiful and so full of warmth. But the years have also left her with a wound, which was not there when we were children. I do wish she were more interested. It seems like blah, 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 blah. And there's a letter stuck in here. I write quickly from my prison. Near... Never... God, I can barely read this sometimes. I write this quickly from my prison. Something will return you... Neva? Nerak? Will return your book, which the Moiety intercepted upon your arrival. After questioning her, I've concluded that it was written for Atris for a very specific purpose. Written by Atris. Gen... Oh, bars appeared. That's what that word was earlier. Gen, will desire to use it, although he may have suspicions. If you can find my prison, you will still need the combination to release me. Gen keeps it in his office. Then, I assume, we're to signal Atris. I think I know how it might be done. But don't signal him before I'm released. Catherine. That's a quick way to get a bad ending, is to signal Atris before Catherine's released, because he's like, where's Catherine? Oh, what great loss. You know. Oh, so then he moves it to the side. Let's see, I do wish you were more interested. It seems like I'm asking all the questions. It's awkward. No one asks me where I've been or what I've been doing. This hurts, but I understand it. Their beliefs are born out of ignorance and oppression. They are gentle people, but they've had their nest destroyed, and now they frantically cling to anything that might save them. But why have they chosen to cling to me? I'm confused. As a child, I always felt out of place here. I never belonged. They misunderstood me, and I couldn't relate to them. But now I'm overwhelmed by an intense feeling that I owe everything to them in this place. I thought I would never see them again, and yet I'm here. I've been given this second chance. But a second chance at what? Saving them? Fulfilling their prophecies? Being their savior? Some doodles. Where's Catherine? She's not here. Oh no. Got the bad ending, my friend. The Moiety. Atris would want me to chronicle all that I've learned. I can at least record some of it. Seems that when Atris and I trapped Gen on Riven many years ago, our efforts were witnessed by most of the inhabitants here. 2 of the Rivenese even witnessed a confrontation with Gen at the fissure, where I linked back to Mist, and where Atris threw himself into the abyss. Of course, they understood little of what they were seeing, but they somehow were able to guess that we had won. That Gen was no god at all, but only a feeble impostor, a false god, and that we had trapped him here on Riven. I always hoped they would deduce this simple truth, but their further conclusions have astonished me. 1. Atris had stripped Gen of his power, therefore Atris must be a true god. 2. As a god, he was choosing me, the spiritual misfit from a Rivenese womb, to be his wife. 3. I was transcending into deity and moved, and one deity and something lord over Riven forever, and would lord. I was transcending into deity and would lord over Riven forever. Man, the people of Riven are not very bright, are they? They're just so quick to assume anybody's a god. Thus, the Moiety, as they call themselves, were born, a dissident society, sworn enemies of Gen. I did not know of their beliefs regarding Atris and myself until 2 days ago. Eddie, I guess that's that name, Eddie was, for some reason, hesitant to tell me. I can't figure out why. I know she doesn't believe these things. Of course, everyone she assumed that I would be aware. Man, everyone she learned that I would be aware of my own god status, so they made no effort to inform me. I only realized it at a recent gathering to which I was invited. I sat at the front of a dimly lit, crowded cave as they told a mythical story of my own life, acting out the battle between Atris, myself, and Gen at the edge of the fissure. The events had been exaggerated into grandiose proportions. It was offensive, but I was unable to stop it. I was unable to break the illusion, which is the very foundation of their hope and purpose, and which has given them courage to band together and rebel against Gen. Since then, I've learned of other doctrines and beliefs that have evolved, the most disturbing of which is the conviction that one day I would return to Riven to free them. Some believe that I will overthrow Gen. Others believe that I will bring them to paradise. They can only count up to 10. Really, they can only count up to 24. And then after that, they're screwed. I don't know how to deal with this. I fight it myself. I love these people, my only real kindred, but they will not love me as an equal, which hurts me. I would rather be slave than their master. Over the years, as Gen's power has become greater and greater, the Moiety's numbers have grown, and they have become more and more adept at hiding themselves. They now live in a complex network of caves that is still not been discovered. Moiety, for the most part, have completely severed their relationship with any of the Rivenese that chose against joining them. But I hope that they've not sacrificed... Wait, hope they're not sacrificed ritual limbs in order to remove the cancer. Huh. Yeah, even father and something are still on the surface in Gen's domains. I long to see them, but dimness shrouds Eddie's face every time I've mentioned them. Since this break took place, they have interfered with the surface in superficial ways, occasionally sabotaging some of Gen's constructions, or stealing food from the villagers. They wear strange masks and costumes during their scant forays into the island's surface, and to take they take this something very seriously, refusing to be seen by anyone outside the Moiety unless they are properly attired. Unless they're properly attired. They got much pleasure out of the fact that those on the surface are frightened by the costumes, calling them evil spirits or ghosts. It was during one of these expeditions that they fortuitously rescued me from one of Gen's guards when I first appeared on the island. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been delivered to Gen immediately. I have no doubt that he's now searching for me. Of course, I am now aware that I was fooled. Atris is not here. I was at first devastated by this realization. Now I am thankful. He would be in extreme peril here, although there is a giant inner voice, an echoing remnant that wants him far away. Huh. I have just witnessed an age dying, gasping its last breath. Today I ventured to the surface to see what was become of this island. I hoped that it would not be as bad as Moiety had reported. It was worse. They had become slowly accustomed to its steady decay, and I was devastated. The lips from which the kiss is wrought has fallen wordless, or his fallen words will fall cold breath. The womb from which the city released has suffered hurt, will suffer death. To get to the surface, we had to travel through a complex series of doors and passages. Before the last of those doors, they offered me a weapon, which I accepted, and then a mask. I held the mask in my hands for a while, wondering what part of terror it might invoke, what sort of terror it might invoke in those members of my family who still live on the surface. But I also knew I must keep my identity hidden from Gen's ever vigilant eye, so I accepted it as well. Then, together, we swam a short expanse and emerged out of the surface of the ocean under a rocky overhang. The harsh sunlight made my eyes sting, but the fresh, nice air was exhilarating after these past weeks in the dank caves. The two men with me were silent, communicating only with hand signals. The three of us emerged from the hiding place and made our way to the top of the plateau. At the edge of a thick and overgrown area of the forest, they stopped, peered through the foliage for a moment, and then turned to me, as if awaiting my command, but could not respond. In fact, I found it difficult to move. I was smelling, hearing, and breathing my youth. This swept over me in a matter of seconds, but in seconds more, all feeling was gone. There was numbness. We did not stay long on the surface, but it was long enough to see the worst. Riven, which was once an island, is split apart into 5 distinct pieces, about half a mile apart. 4 of these have been claimed by Gen as his exclusive domain. Only his ministers and personal militia are ever allowed access to them. From my vantage point at the edge of the forest, I could see 3 of these islands. They are stripped of their former beauty and are riddled with Gen's self-absorbed constructions. Moiety merely visit these closely guarded places. Rarely visit these closely guarded places. There's another island which I could not see, as it had evidently crept away to a terrific distance. Moiety are very unclear as to what exists on this island, except for the fact that they know it is where the great tree used to exist. The forest is located on the island that the surface dwellers and the Moiety still refer to as Riven, and they also still refer to the entire world as Riven. This island is where the village is, which has changed dramatically. It is also the one remaining province of the people, though Gen's influence can be seen everywhere. And here are the sketches of the 4 islands and their connection. Of course, I know the reason for the fracturing of the island. The Moiety do not. Gen wrote this place, and it will die, as all of Gen's ages eventually die. Kind of reveals that Gen really sucks at writing ages. They just all die. I feel nothing today. I am nothing. I live in a cave on a dying world inhabited by people that they are treating me so strangely. They don't know how to react to a god or relate to a god. I'm still an outcast here. They whisper amongst themselves, talking of my bravery during my excursion to the surface. How I walked across the island, bold and unafraid. They don't know me. Even Eddie is uncomfortable around me. At times there is no awkwardness, and I am only Katran to her. But at other times I am something else. I'm afraid. There's such a giant numbness inside me. Today I do not feel closeness. I do not feel closeness with my people. Neither am I offended by their worship of me. I do not hate Gen. I don't feel anything. I'm not even sure of, at least, Nera is still close. Why do Gen's ages die? Didn't they say they're not created by the age writer? It's weird. It's kind of like a multiverse kind of thing, where, like, I guess every possible combination of pretty much anything exists as a separate universe. So, like, when you write an age that's not stable, it's like a universe that already existed that was unstable. You know what I mean? So you could write the shittiest, self-sustaining age, and it was just a place that actually existed for a brief time. It also kind of implies time travel. Like, if there's an age that can only exist for a short while, and then you link to it while it's still existing, then are you time traveling? Does time even exist? I am boiling. I am. Gen is making and writing books. I wish they had told me sooner. Atris should have relieved this. Atris should have realized this would happen. Of course, Gen would have written. Gen would have written all of the materials necessary to the dunny craft of making books into this age, and probably every other age he ever wrote. He is attempting to write his way out of here. We did not imprison him. We only delayed him. This age has become his factory, and the people are his machines, all laboring in... All... Is that laboring? All laboring in his mad pursuit to become a god. To carry on his noble dunny cause. So far, he has not been able to produce a fully functional book. Atris has never believed in destiny, but I don't know what else to call it. It's too perfect. It's too much of a coincidence. They hang on to my every word, that though they do not understand them. I am their hope, and now I have returned. I owe this to them. There is no choice. It's been a long time since my last entry. It is hard to recognize, but I have found the Starfisher. It is located on the island which the Rivenese call Aleppo, meaning water pool, but which is referred to by the Moiety as Altwan, meaning a pool of stars. Having once allowed Atris to escape this age without leaving an open door behind us, it has since been sealed with a skin of heavy iron. A crude telescope has been mounted over the locked view port, the combination to which was acquired by the Moiety before my arrival. And we have another code we can write down. I think this code's also randomly generated. So that is 1, 1, 1, 4, 3. 1, 1, 1, 4, 3. I love you. So telescope. Okay, wrote that down. I'm the early days? In the early days, in the early days, the Moiety, seeking an escape from Riven, briefly pursued the idea of reopening the fissure. They discovered a small mechanical stop to prevent the scope from hitting the portal window. Ultimately, however, they decided against opening it. I hate to think what would have happened to them if they had not left it alone. I have instructed them to stay away from it. I'm almost certain that, with the decayed state of the islands, opening the fissure now would be disastrous. I have heard that in the days immediately following Gen's confinement on Riven, he attempted to determine the feasibility of navigating the stars beneath the fissure, for he had seen the mist book fall from Atris's hands into the very same space. To this end, he would have people, alleged transgressors of the law, thrown into it so that he could observe their fate. The telescope, which still stands there, is one he had built for these callous experiments. Wow. So again, just any people undesirables he would throw into the fissure and then observe them. It is said that they did not die, but what became of them remains a mystery. It appears that the limits of Gen's optics prevented him from learning their fate. The star field beneath the fissure is not as it seems. It is a gentle space, as hospitable to life as a flowing river. This is how Atris explained it after he had fallen into it, but much more than that we've never understood, and we were never able to conclude upon its origins. But the revisions tell me that it was not born out of the will of the Maker, perhaps for some greater purpose that we cannot yet understand. I still remember Atris's words from his journal. I realized at the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse. Does that sound familiar to anyone? That's actually the opening monologue in Myst. Ah, it's so good. There must be some greater reason behind it. I neglected to mention it earlier. The unique shape of one of the great daggers which appeared during our escape from Riven, the very dagger that stands vertically at the one end of the whatever that word is, has been adopted by the Moiety as the symbol of their cause, is a sacred symbol for them, is a representation of all of their doctrine, their representation of me. To deface this symbol is sacrilege. They have their own mythical explanation regarding its sudden origins. I haven't told them that I wrote it into the age, along with all the other daggers. Wow, okay. That I don't remember. So apparently Catherine, literally wrote those daggers, all of the daggers in Riven, into their spots just in the book. That's crazy. It's strange how such a young religion can be so unbending, even to their own God. I have tried to dissuade them of the notion that symbols contain no such power, or so much power. The enemy uses I don't know. The enemy uses this paradox against them. They are fearful of Gen's symbol and are treated are terrorized by his symbolic use of the wark, but they don't. Paranoia? Oh, the enemy uses paranoia against them. Yeah, you're right. But they don't want to hear this from me. Perhaps my attempts even cause some of the younger members of the Moiety to doubt that I am Catherine. My rare encounters with those who say they follow Gen have been discouraging. I have hoped to have some communication with the surface villagers, but they always flee from me. But I have heard news of some of the villagers' beliefs regarding Gen. Soon after we trapped Gen on Riven, he claimed that he was responsible for the daggers, placing them around the island as a reminder of their failure. I'm in the village circles as told that this was a punitive act performed by Gen to mark the beginning of a period of restitution, and at the end of which, if they have proven their devotion to him, they will be delivered into a new and better existence. Paraplegic. I will continue to try to reach them. The door is open. The door is open. Is Gen is free? The door is open. Gen is free. Just like a little squiggle, a comma. Gen has the ability to create working books. In fact, he had written one age before I arrived, but he has kept this accomplishment so well hidden that only his closest ministers were aware until now. I'm not sure. Perhaps he has written others. Other news. A few years ago, before the Moiety were forced into hiding, one of them managed to steal what appeared to be a test book that Gen had intended to destroy. It had been partially written, but it did not work. They didn't tell me about it until now because they thought it was useless. Back then, none of Gen's books worked, but instead of correcting the problem at its source, he blamed it on the impure wood of the Riven forest and proceeded to engineer a cumbersome mechanical remedy, a complex series of domes to keep his book's inherent flaws, to heal his book's inherent flaws. One of the consequences of this crude solution, however, was that the domes demanded huge amounts of energy, and the related problems delayed his success for quite some time. At last, however, he finished his work and was finally able to link to an age, but he kept his success extremely well hidden. However, for some reason or another, belligerent pride, he has made modifications to the domes which made it obvious that he's using the domes to breathe life into his half-dead books. Perhaps he has means to Perhaps he has means to lure me. Perhaps he means to lure me into using the books in the domes. He can't believe that we would kindly swallow this suicide. This suicide something. Man, it's so hard to read sometimes. But he wouldn't know that we have one of his books. The stolen burnt book. There is a possibility of scratched out. Have read burnt book. Age it describes would be unsuitable as new home for the Moiety. Must be modified. I will dream. I have requested a group to solve combination. I've requested a group to solve combination that will open the domes. Once open, we can power the burnt book. I do not think Gen will interfere. He will leave the bait. Man, so the little domes weren't just ways for him to access the age. It was actually bait to try to get Catherine trapped. Have began writing the Moiety's age. Now must require second book from Gen. Acquire second book from Gen. There's tension. A stream? Yeah, I don't know. There's tension. Something blurs my vision and nightmares. Neva Nera. It's also hard when it's just a name that's made up because you can't kind of figure out like what word it's referring to. It's just a name. Nera and Eddie stay close. Much has happened. Almost everything is prepared. We have stolen another book, but I'm concerned Gen will miss it. We have also discovered the combination for entering the domes, but we have not discovered the method for powering them. By powering our burnt book with Gen's domes, we will be able to link to this age, but we will only have access to the domes for a short of time before we are discovered. Therefore, we can only use the domes once. I must find another way to make the books work. The gateway images in Gen's books and on the burnt book all seem to share the same sickness. If they are not powered, the images are blank. It might be possible to clear the vision with only... Shows some pictures here. Will write substance into the Moiety age. Huh. So she writes the stuff into the age that powers the book. All is ready. Now all we can do is wait for word from the Moatian-esque who are on the lookout for Gen to power and use the domes. When he does that, we will have access to one of Gen's domes just long enough. After linking to the age which I have written, I have only to locate the book window substance and refine it or adapt it. Laying this window over the gateway image should heal the books and make them work. This will allow me to use the second stolen book and return to Riven with more of the book windows, and we will then no longer have to rely on Gen's clumsy domes. I laugh at these plans. I sound like Atris. It's also kind of interesting because if it is a multiverse thing where they're actually linking to already existing things, then how do you explain them, like, writing stuff into the same age? Like, modifying the age if they're not creating the age. It's just really weird. I'm risking my life, but I feel no fear, only anxiety. Perhaps it is the source of my nightmares. The fissure, like a great wound, is opened. It stains the Riven... God, I can't read it. Soil with blood. I hold the Moiety knife. The voices grow so loud. For their part, the Moiety have complete faith that I will accomplish my task and lead them to a better world. It is the fulfillment of their prophecy, but they are also fearful and tense. Might be that writing has some cosmic effect on the age, even if it's not creation per se. Yeah, I guess so. Because opening a wormhole to another universe alters it in a way. Yeah, that's true. Like, that wormhole doesn't exist in it, but you opening the wormhole into that is editing that world. So it's like you're linking to an age that's already there, but then now the link's established, you can modify that link to create things in the world, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know what they will think or do if I fail. It is done. It seems too good to be true. I feel like it's all still a dream. We have already evacuated all the Moiety to this new age. It is beautiful and I am pleased. At last the people will live in safety and comfort. They will stand under the bare sky, unafraid and dazzled by their freedom. They're happy. They have named it Te. There's still much to be done. We are not protected yet. The only way to completely safeguard this place is destroy the book which links to here from Riven. But I do not even know how to bring this up to the Moiety. They'll be extremely reluctant about destroying their only link to Riven. I share this hesitation. I would be cutting off my only connection, but for their sake, it must be done. I am anxious to know if our activities have aroused Gen's suspicions. If so, we must act quickly. Even so, I feel that now we are impregnable. Tomorrow, I will return to Riven to see Gen's reaction for myself. But tonight, I finally rest. And we know how that ends up. She returns to Riven and gets captured by Gen. What a game. So, when we're done, we'll return to Riven. And we will activate the fire marbles, we'll go to Gen's age, we'll trap him, free Catherine, signal Atris, and watch our sweet, sweet ending. There's also like a million iterations of bad endings in this, because you can summon Atris without capturing Gen. You can free Catherine without capturing Gen and summon Atris. You can capture Gen but not free Catherine and summon Atris. You can capture Gen and free Catherine and summon Atris, which is the good ending. You can even like get trapped in Gen's office and see a funny little ending with that where he realizes you're trapped. Or something, I don't remember. It's been a while. Wait, no. It's like you fail to convince him to link into the trap book and then he kills you. There's a whole bunch of false endings, which I haven't decided which ones I'm actually going to do in the game and which ones I'm just going to look up on YouTube, but that's where we're going to wrap up. So, turning to Riven. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Next time we do Riven, we will be ending the game and maybe going to Exile in the same stream. If not, then, you know, we'll split Exile into a separate one. So thanks, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.